Hello, welcome to the Math 3332 Linear Algebra Introductory video. My name is Chris Thron. I'm your instructor. And in this video, I want to go through the syllabus and highlight the important aspects that you will need in order to succeed in this class. Now, if you go on your Canvas page, you will find the home page goes to the syllabus. So you go ahead and click on the syllabus, and we'll go through the syllabus together. So let me take this out, enable editing, and I'm not sure why it's showing those P's. We'll just do that. And let's make this bigger. And I'll make the view so we do page width, and we'll be good. All right, so here we are at the syllabus. And the course name, instructor and contact information, that's me, that's my office. I'm in Warrior Hall. My phone, my office. You can call my cell phone anytime from 9 to 9 p.m. any day. If I don't answer, I may call you right back, especially if you don't have a 254 or 512 area code. I don't know if your call is a junk call. So go ahead and call. If I don't pick up, leave a message. I may be calling you right back. Now, I will be out of the country until spring break, so I won't be available by phone before March. However, I will still be in touch. I'll be Skyping, and I'll say more about that as we go along. Here's my email, very reliable way of getting in touch with me. I'm always checking my email because I'm on the computer pretty constantly. Here's my Skype ID. If you don't have Skype installed on your own computer, I highly recommend that you do that. There are other ways to call by computer, but especially the first half of the semester, I will be in touch by computer communications. We also have a course assistant. Her name is Katrina Weiss. She'll be in classes. She'll be facilitating, and she will also be providing tutoring help and help with the class material. Here's her email and her phone and her Skype ID. I will be holding office hours by Skype during the first half of the semester, and I'm suggesting to have them Monday and Friday at 9:30 because you have class at 9:30, and I would assume that you have free time during that time slot every day of the week. If there is a problem with that, I'm open to change. We'll work on that as we go along. Now, I do highly recommend that you have a computer with microphone and speakers with Skype installed. It's a very, as I said, especially in the modern educational environment, this kind of communication is very common. If you have Skype, I can share my screen. I can show you things on the screen. It's much better than communicating by telephone. I'm sorry, I'm not a smartphone person, so I'm a computer person. So that's the way I do things. All right, now Katrina will have office hours in Warrior Hall 420N from 2 to 4 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so she can also help you. So there should be plenty of opportunities for you to get help. I also do strongly encourage you to work together. It's important to have interaction when you do math. Math is a language. It's very hard to really learn math on your own by yourself. You need to be communicating with it and helping other people and receiving help from other people. Exchange ideas. So I highly recommend that you find a study partner, find a study group, work together as much as you can. This is a web-enhanced course and includes classroom and web-based components. I'm going to be using a canvas which is not the TAMU-CT canvas. You can log in at this place, and I will be sending you shortly an invite to this canvas. So you should accept that invite, and all of the course communications, course material, etc. will be conducted in this alternative canvas. The same holds if you're in my abstract algebra class. I'll be using this alternative canvas. The only exception is course grades, which will be posted in the TAMU-CT canvas for reasons of federal law. All right, so there's a emergency system for the university. I put this in because this is university boilerplate that's required to put in my syllabus. All right, so let's go to course information. The topic that we're going to study is linear algebra, naturally. Linear algebra is a foundational subject in mathematics, and it underlies a lot of other mathematics, even mathematics that you wouldn't expect. Analysis and calculus has a linear algebra foundation. It may not be clear, but you do find this out when you take higher analysis classes and learn what's going on underneath calculus. Fundamental idea about linear algebra is a vector. You may have seen vectors in other classes like physics. Hopefully you have seen vectors before. People often conceive of vectors as an arrow. We'll be seeing that vectors have a more general interpretation. And I hope to bring out both the geometrical and the algebraic aspects of what a vector is. So there's a lot about vectors. Another important concept in linear algebra is matrix. A matrix is like a table of numbers, but it's a table of numbers with special properties. You can multiply them. You can use them to make transformations, and so on. So that's very brief and not very descriptive, but we'll be getting into that material as we go throughout the class. These learning outcomes are just generic. This is what you'd expect to get from any math class. So let's, and we also are very sensitive to students who want to teach high school math, so we try to highlight the goals and the skills that are necessary in order for you to pass the Texas certification exam. All right, so let's go into the materials. First, we have the textbook. So I should be able to go right there on this link. This is the link. Now, when you log into this, it will ask you for login information. The first time you log in, you can use guest. During class period, you will be given an ID that will enable you to log in your personalized version of this textbook. So I would please request that you use the personalized version of the textbook. You should be able to highlight it, and it has other advantages as well. So you can see on the left-hand side there are topic headings. You can jump to the different topic headings. There is an index up here. Down at the bottom, if you're looking for particular theorems or definitions, you can go down here. So let's go back to the beginning. Let's see. So you can see that the chapters have abbreviations. For instance, this first one is SLE, next one is V, next one is M, and so on. Some students have a little trouble with that, but please stick with it, and you'll find that this is a very systematic way of organizing the material. All right, we're going to start going straight through. So the first chapter we're going to go is, well, what is linear algebra, right here, and we'll be going through this. And I'll be making another video that does some problems and gets you prepared for the work and the homework and the quizzes that you'll be having to do. All right. So you just scroll down here. You can go to next, up, etc. So that's this, and as I use the textbook during class, I'll be navigating with this quite a bit. So by the end of the class, you should be able to get very used to working with this textbook. Now, if you're still want to go back to the traditional way of using a textbook, you can go to this link here, where you will find a PDF version and a print version. So PDF you could just simply download and print, and you can buy a bound copy at lulu.com. All right. Here's also another online edition that's not a customized version, but this is the same as the customized version that you were seeing in the other screen that I have right here. But please use the customized version. If the writing is too small, you can of course make it bigger here and adjust to your screen accordingly. All right, so I'm going to close this one and go back here. Oops, I want to go back to my syllabus, and here we are. All right, now besides the text, I also have a complete list of videos, and the video playlist is here. And the videos follow the text. Again, I realize that some people may have some trouble following the chapter names. If you're not sure which video goes with which section, then please go ahead and ask. So you just click on the video and you can watch it. Of course, here you'd have to get one variable in terms of the other two. So I started this one before, but you can use if you're not familiar with YouTube, you can use the full screen, make it bigger. You can also, if it's too slow for you, I often end up going at 1.5 or 2 speed, or you can slow down. And of course you can pause it, or you can move it around to wherever you want to watch it. So I hope this is a useful resource for you. Point here that this is another kind of you can do closed captioning if you want to have a. Sometimes it's quite amusing how they do it, but it seems they do a fairly good job. All right, so there are over, I believe there are over 70 videos with the class. So I invite you to do that. When you see what section we're going to be doing, watch the videos and try to understand. And during class, I will not be lecturing so much as doing problems. I will expect that you have watched the videos to get the content. Okay, so let me close this out. So that's another course aid that you have. Now, the other very, very important resource is this linear algebra course outline. And that's available on the Canvas that we will be using for the class. So I'm going to go ahead and sign into my Canvas so you can see that. Again, it's not this Canvas, it's not this Temu CT Canvas, it's the alternative Canvas, so I'm going to sign in there. All right, I already have the address here, canvasinstructor.com. I will log in with my login, which is already in there, and then I'll type in my password. And here I have my linear algebra class here. And as I said, I'll be sending you a login for this. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize that this was not set up for homepage, but it will be set up for homepage. All right, so here it is. When you log in, it should be set so that you get to the linear algebra course outline. So I'll go ahead and download that. And this is going to be really the most important document for you for this class. I realize that in a math class, sometimes it's confusing and it's hard to know what you need to do. I'm going to download this so I can see it in my reader. I'm going to put it on my desktop. All right, so let's do that. Oh, it's still opening in the wrong thing. I want it to open in the other one. Well, never mind. We'll just look in this one. So you could say that this is a study guide. After you've read the book, after you've watched the videos, then this lays out what you need to know, the concepts and the competencies you need to have gained from that section. So it should be very systematic. I do hope this will be a good study aid. You should read through and say, all right, so for instance, a system of linear equations has no solutions, a unique solution, or infinitely many solutions, one of 3 alternatives. So you should be able to read through the concepts and say, yes, I got that, yes, I got that, yes, I got that. And that you can check off that you've understood what you need to understand for that section. After the concepts, sorry, I skipped there, we have competencies. These are the types of things that you should know. Know the 3 equation operations and how to apply them. What are the 3 equation operations? Well, if you don't know, go back to the concepts. 3 equation operations are what are they? Switch equations in a list of equations, multiply equation by a number, and multiply equation by a number and add it to another equation. And you'll be seeing how those apply. So these are the competencies, these are the types of problems that you will need to be able to do for each section. Okay, still not big enough. All right. Now, not just to do that, but I give you some target exercises for you to practice on. And some of these I'll be doing in class. Some of them you will do perhaps slightly modified, but some of them you will do as quizzes in the class. I'm not going to be assigning homework. The evaluation will be by quiz and by test. Quizzes will be pretty much every class, and the quizzes will be very, very close to these exercises. So the way you prepare for a quiz is do these exercises, make sure you know how to do them, how to do the computation. Okay, so each section has that organization. There are concepts, competencies, and then target exercises. Some of the target exercises have answers, some of them don't. But the entire document is organized that way. And once you've mastered this document, you've mastered the course. All right, so let's close that. Close that, and let me go back to my syllabus here. So I hope that this is very systematic for you, and you're not guessing what you need to know, what you need to do. Now, besides this, one more resource will be the class notes. When I do problems in class, I will be doing them using this application called OneNote, and you can simply go to this link and see the notes that I've done during class. You won't be able to change them, but you'll be able to view. Right now, you don't see anything here, but if you look in 2017, these are some of the notes that I did last year. So I just put them in a separate section so you can see. So the notes will look something like this. You can look at them. You can see how I wrote and how I did the problem. I will also be recording classes just like I'm recording this. So you have lots of audiovisual, lots of resources to help you study with. And I hope that they're arranged in a fairly systematic fashion so that you won't have problems knowing what you need to do. Again, if you're lost and you're not sure that you've gotten everything, then please go ahead and email, or Katrina will be right there also. Grading, 40% quiz. Each quiz is one to two questions, maybe 15-20 minutes. And I say the instructor reserves the right to give quizzes without warning, but most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, I will tell you the class before exactly what to expect for the quiz in the next class. I did mention that we're using these special textbooks because this course is part of a research project. I'm participating in this national project to evaluate online materials, and part of the project is getting feedback from students, and that feedback includes 2 half-hour diagnostic tests, an online feedback form every 2 weeks, and a 45-minute online survey. Now, I realize that this is your valuable time, and you should be compensated for it. On the other hand, I can't really make that for credit, but what I can do is, if you do participate, then you can remove your low quiz grades. So, for instance, if you do one of the 1/2 hour diagnostic tests, I will look at your quiz grades and I will remove one of your low quiz grades. Or if you missed a quiz, if you got a 0, I will take that off of your record because you've participated in this research project. So you have a chance to remove 3 quizzes from the two diagnostic tests and the survey, and every feedback form also counts for half a quiz. So it is worth your while to participate, and I hope you will do so. There are also 2 tests, and each test will occupy 1 week of class time, so the test will have 2 parts. Each part will be in one of the classes during that week. Now, it's also worth your while to do all the quizzes. If you do all the quizzes and you're within 1 point of the next highest grade, I'll increase your grade. So for instance, if you got an 89.5 and you did all the quizzes, you go up to A. If you got an 89.99 and you didn't do all the quizzes, you get a B. I grade strictly by the numbers. Quiz grades will be posted on Canvas within 1 week of the quiz, but the cumulative grades will be posted in the TAMU-CT Canvas. As I mentioned, the TAMU-CT Canvas will be used only for posting of cumulative grades. All right, here are the course materials. We're going to jump right in with the first material. I'm sure you've seen some systems of linear equations before, so this may be somewhat of a review. We may be using some new techniques that you haven't seen before, but that's what we'll be starting with. Linear algebra, in this textbook, linear algebra starts out with a whole idea of how do you solve linear equations systematically. All right, now the quizzes will be administered in class. If you're missing a class, it's very wise for you to let Katrina know. Katrina will be handling the administration of the quizzes. You can do makeup quiz during her office hours, or possibly before class if she's free. You'd have to rearrange that with her. The makeup quiz must be taken within 5 days of the actual quiz. So for instance, if you miss a class on Tuesday, you'll have to make it up by the end of the week. If you miss a class on Thursday, you have to make it up by the following Tuesday. So for instance, if you missed a class on a Thursday, you could make it up during Katrina's Tuesday afternoon office hours. A maximum of 4 makeup quizzes are allowed during the semester, so you can do that 4 times. All right, missed exams. If you can't make an exam session, you must schedule an alternative period beforehand. Missed exams must be taken within 5 days of the actual exam. Appeals. If a student wishes to appeal a grade, you must do so within 1 week of receiving the graded paper. Now, I do strongly encourage that you save all graded work because I do make clerical errors. I might record a quiz grade wrong. If you save the quiz and you show me the quiz, then I can change the grade. If you don't save the quiz, I can't change the grade. So please note this. Save your documentation, save your work until the end of the class. Whoops. What's it doing now? Save your work until the end of the class, and that way you'll be able to document when you in case there is a misgrade. Okay, these are all important dates, and then I think the rest of the syllabus is generic, and we don't need to go over it. You may want to take note of the drop dates and so on. And yeah, I think all of this is generic. So I'm going to stop here. And since I'm not with you now, you can ask questions of me at the next class, or you can send me an email. All right, looking forward to having this class with you.